When I was really young, I was a morning person, so early in the morning that I used to wake up my mom. But as I got older, I became a night owl, and I thought morning people were kind of crazy for waking up early before their brain was fully functioning and trying to write their novel or do any important work. Then life started giving me earlier morning commitments. And I had to choose, fight it and feel miserable, or figure out how to actually become a morning person. The Miracle Morning for Writers showed me how to make that transition stick. Hal Elrod and Steve Scott's The Miracle Morning for Writers adapts the popular Miracle Morning concept specifically for writers. The book outlines 6 morning practices, which they call life savers, and savers is an acronym, designed to set you up for productive writing days, covering everything from physical health to mental preparation. And 4 concepts from this book that have fundamentally changed my approach to mornings are: first, you need to make your morning routine sacred. The book emphasizes that your morning sets the tone for your entire day, and you need to take that seriously. Second, you shouldn't rush into work right after waking up. This is part of my morning routine now. I no longer check my phone right after I wake up, other than to turn off my alarm, which is something that other productivity books say that you should have a traditional alarm clock so you're not even tempted, but this is what works for me. Instead of immediately checking emails and diving into work, I now spend intentional time with my dog, avoid my phone, and give myself time to ease into the day. Then we have the 80-20 rule. You may have heard of this because it is a business concept and a general productivity concept, but it's all about finding the 20% of what you do that gives you 80% results versus the 80% of things you do that only yield 20% of the results. And my 80-20 benefits are bullet journaling, spending time with my dog and my mom, and avoiding screens while I wake up and prepare for the day. You also want to use morning time to access a flow state. The book talks about how morning minds are primed for creative work, and I found this to be true even though I had to adapt to that new time frame. And they recommend using visualization and meditation, which are 2 things that have never worked for me, but if they do for you, I recommend you try it. I started having early morning commitments when I was pretty young because my school started at 8-10 in the morning, but I lived across the street for many years from my school, so I was able to roll out of bed, almost skip a morning routine entirely, and essentially start working the moment I felt awake, which was by the time I entered the classroom, or maybe not even then. As I got older and homework became longer and harder, or I actually tried to socialize with classmates after school, that meant I started staying up later, and that would give me terrible sleep or not enough sleep and constant exhaustion from that buildup. Now I use the principles from this book to actually embrace my mornings. The key is creating a morning where you're going to feel as good as possible. Here's something you should try this week. Pick one element from a morning routine that you either find online or find in this book and make it sacred for 7 days. Maybe it's 5 minutes of journaling. Maybe it's drinking coffee or tea, or even normal water without checking your phone. Maybe it's a short walk, which I often do with my dog. And don't overhaul everything about your morning routine. Just pick one small ritual and see how it affects your day. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications to this channel so you don't miss any future videos, including the rest of this series. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about what actually makes writing habits stick over the long term, and why some writers maintain consistency while others don't. And if you want to see the specific productivity tools I mention on this channel for tracking and scheduling my life, I have a dedicated video right over here that you can check out now.